Ba-ba-ba-ba. What's going on? It's the Bagged Skate here with myself, Niko from the TO, and my partner,
Matt Ballista. Big one there, I guess.
Let this ride.
We're still going with that?
We're gonna let it ride. All right, on today's show, we're talking one of the most evil empire-ish lists of all time.
Oh, this was so tough.
We're talking about centers. We were talking about NHL top 15 centers. This was hard. This was definitely one of the harder lists I think I've ever done.
Now, this took me hours.
This and grocery lists.
Yeah.
Definitely top two hardest lists, because you go down the list and you just don't know what to add next. Maybe you want to add a little bit of Couturier in there, maybe a little bit of cheese. You never know. Never know. Can you turn me up a little bit over there?
Yes, sir.
You just never know. All right. We're going to go right into it.
You good?
Yes. Can I hear myself? Yes, I am. I'm good. I have some weird microphone on right now.
See, I can't hear myself.
Yeah, you can't hear yourself? Turn yourself up over there. It's up in there. I'll cut this out. Can you hear now?
And...
Not
really.
Are you plugged into the right one?
Yeah. That's all right. We'll figure it out. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's me. All right. Let's go. All right. Now we're doing centers. There was a lot of centers. I don't know, man. So I made fun of you for making you did your top 40 for wingers.
Yeah.
I did 20 this time. This is top 15, but there's just so many centers.
I know. It was so hard to cut it down.
All right, we'll just go top 20. You want to just do top 20?
Sure, we
We'll
can do
just
that.
do top 20.
We have an hour,
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I will go first. Number 20, I have Vincent Trocheck. I remember him specifically because he played in junior. I forget what team he played in juniors, but either way, he was such a trash player. And he was literally he was just such a bad player that he was just. It's phenomenal to me that he now is he's one of these top centers in the NHL, just because he was such a bad player. He got penalties. He killed penalties, but it was just you didn't expect 75 points out of him. Anyway, his point line was he had 31 goals, 44 assists, 75 points. Last year he had 54 points, and then that was a 21-point increase, which was I didn't see that. I thought he was gonna be a 50-point player once he reached that level. Because he has a really nice contract, too.
Yeah.
I think his contract's 4.5 or something, around those lines.
It's team friendly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially for Florida, too. This was his first 30-plus goal season, by the way. But yeah, definitely, he's really won me over these last couple of years. Who'd you have for 20?
Number 20, I had Leon Draisaitl in Edmonton.
Draisaitl. Hate you. No. No, I'm joking. It took me a while to figure out that guy's name. I have him. Draisaitl. Yeah, I didn't know how to say it when he first got drafted. I have him a little bit further, so we'll go over him in a second.
Okay.
Number 19, I had Braden Schenn. Schenn had 28 goals, 42 assists, 70 points. He had 55 points last year. When he got traded to St. Louis, I thought it was a really dumb trade.
Yeah.
Just because it was I know they got JVR this year to kind of replace the loss that Schenn kind of brought for them, because he usually adds 55, 60 points.
Yeah, he was a consistent player for them.
Exactly. I think he was playing center over Couturier when he was in Philly, which is, again, it was weird because he was traded from LA to Philly in that weird swap for Carter and all that other stuff a while back.
Yeah.
He never really produced at the level that I think was thought of him. And then now this year he finally came out with 70 points.
Yeah, he was a very hyped prospect when he was younger. And, playing in Philly, he had to show a little bit of his toughness. That's just the style they play there in Philly. And Philly hasn't, last year they were pretty good, but Philly's had some down years.
Yeah.
And, I think maybe that contributed a little bit to his sagging point totals. But, that trade, I thought he was a player that fits in perfectly with the Blues. Just that type of player.
Right.
So I thought that was a good trade on their part, and then to get the career year they had out of him, I think, obviously.
It sucks that they didn't even make the playoffs, too, on top of that,
that's just hilarious. But
which is absolutely nuts, too, to think now they're thought of one of the favorites in the league. But that's a different story.
Well, yeah.
We won't get too far in that. Who'd you have for 19?
19, I had, this was tough. I had Jumbo Joe Thornton.
You had Thornton on this list? Huh.
I don't know why, but I looked at his numbers when he was healthy, and
They weren't bad.
They weren't
How many
bad.
points do you have?
He had 36 points in 47 games.
Yeah.
That's
not bad. That's not horrible. It's just I don't know. Obviously, his whole career, if this was a top 15 all time, obviously he would be up a lot higher. I just feel like the last 2 years have just been really. He's been injured.
I tried to project it out, in my head that if he did stay healthy for the whole season, I tried to think if he would have, he would have had 70 points.
Yeah.
So, still very effective
at
his age.
And he signed a 1-year contract, $5 million this year. So he's going to be a third-line center, power play specialist. I don't know how many points he's going to average. Maybe he gets 50. I don't know. Both his legs were torn out.
Yeah.
He's had major surgery on both of his legs these last 2 years.
There's definitely huge concern, especially, with the injury concern now and the fact that he's, 40?
He's 40. So yeah, I don't know. That's why I couldn't have him on this list. I thought about it. It's just out of all the other center depth and center players, I can't see him in a top 20 role or top 20.
Yeah, I mean,
list. It's a good choice.
Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. Like we said, it was such a tough list.
It is. It was very tough. All right, so number 18. I think this one was weird because I want to think this next player is definitely one of my favorite. Nicholas Backstrom.
That's what I had.
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, it's weird because he had 21 goals, 50 assists, 71 points. But last year he had 86 points. This was a 15-point decrease, but it is also his third year in a row with 20 goals. He's pretty much the Capitals' second-line center now with Kuznetsov exploding this year and being very effective in the playoffs. It's so I don't know. It
felt weird ranking him this low.
Yeah, it did. But at the same time, it's like I can't see him above other players right now. I think maybe again that's just because everyone will say he's one of the most underrated players. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like if he's not getting 70 assists, he's not a top 10 player.
That's kind of amazing though that like you said a 15-point drop off from last season and it drops him this far down on the list.
Well, even last year when he had 86 points, he was still maybe 11, 12.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, again, unless he's getting like 70 assists, like he's not going to be a top 10 player. I know he provides a lot being a first line, second line player. I know he's good defensively, but like he's average defensively. And I mean, I don't watch him on a daily basis, so I probably will get some flack on that. But at the same time, I don't see him as a top 10 talent. At least in the whole entire league in centers, he's not a top 10.
Yeah, you're right on that.
He won a Stanley Cup, yes, but versus that, unless he's getting 70 assists, I don't see him getting anything else.
Right.
So we both have him at 18.
Yep.
You mentioned him earlier. I had number 17. I had Leon Draisaitl.
Okay.
Played 78 games, 25 goals, 45 assists, had 70 points. Last year he had 77 points. This year, he was top in faceoff. He had a 56% faceoff percentage. Funny, I guess a prelude later on. Connor McDavid only had like a 43% on faceoffs, which was
41.4.
Just trash.
Yeah.
And I just think go ahead.
I wanted to ask how much for doing the centers list, how much you put faceoff percentage and like Corsi and all that into consideration for these guys.
I let you. That's all you. I didn't really put into that.
Yeah.
Mine's more of I watch. I do the eye test a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean I could have went into all those stats, but I felt realistically we're gonna talk about these players.
Yeah.
So it's like you had those stats. So what was Leon Draisaitl's Corsi and all the other?
Draisaitl's Corsi 53.3%, 56.1 face-off percentage.
It's good. He doesn't really know what.
See, I wanted to, when I started off doing this list, I really wanted to make face-off percentage a huge part of my consideration. But some of these players were just horrible.
Anymore. It's not anymore.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I think that anybody can play center now. Do you look at? I will compare it to the Leafs. So Matthews and Nylander are on the same line. Nylander will take the majority of his strong hand faceoffs, and then Matthews will take his strong hand faceoffs. Obviously,
Smart.
Matthews will play center, and Nylander will switch to wing. But just for that faceoff reason, they'll win a lot of faceoffs because they never have a weak-sided draw.
That's smart.
Which was the same thing a lot of times, I guess, in Edmonton, where you would have McDavid in the middle, but you would have Nugent Hopkins taking a lot of the faceoffs, and then they would switch off every time. Everybody could play center now. I not the center position, but can move into the faceoff circle, and it's more of a thing where everybody can do it because you got players getting kicked out a lot of times, so you have that kind of thing. But anyway, totally off tangent. Leon Draisaitl, he had 77 points last season. I said this year 70. He actually led his whole team in power play points, which on that power play was horrible. They had the worst. That was like the worst. They had like the best power play percentage at, I think it was at, no, they had the penalty kill. The penalty kill was like good at home, but they had the worst NHL history penalty kill on the road. It was like 56%, or not even 50. It was like 40. Like just the worst. They got scored on every single time. Anyway, even on the power play, they were like ranked. I think they were ranked 21st in the league for power play. That could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, he led them in pointing at 22 points on the power play. You know what? I think that this year kind of proved, hey, he's not just McDavid's wing.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a pretty good deal. He was overrated to begin with when he signed the $8.5 million contract. I wasn't really a big fan of that. I was like, are you kidding me? This dude? Really? What is that? And then now it's worth it. If you have a good second-line center, it can give you over 70 points. I just want to point out, too, Rick Nash had only like 3 70-point seasons and was making $8.7 million for like 20 years for like 3 70-point seasons.
Well, yeah,
on the wing.
Because Rick Nash was the only good player in Columbus.
It's just wicked. It just blows my mind. Yeah. No, actually, I think he had 1 70-point season, and the rest of them were like 60. It was just blows my mind how overrated Rick Nash. He's my favorite player, but I just make that comparison. It's like you want to talk about this guy already has 2 70-point seasons. Draisaitl in how many years? He's 23, 24 right now. Probably younger. But if anything, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, moving on to an older player. Number 16, I had Eric Stahl.
Hey, me too.
Wow. 82 games played, 42 goals, 34 assists, 76 points. What was he? He was like 4th in goal scoring in the entire league. 42 goals. He had 65 points last year. Minnesota, he drank some Minnesota water.
This was his first year at the Wild, right?
Second year.
First
year he had 65 points. This year 76 points. Next year 120.
It's amazing what getting out of Carolina will do for someone, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's wicked. It looked like he was dead, and then now he's back. 42 goals. I don't think he's gonna replicate it, but then again,
who knows?
Maybe he gets 70 points next season, and then this contract that he has there, $3.5 million, is just wicked.
Yeah,
it's just wicked. I mean, he's not gonna get paid. Maybe he'll get paid again. He might get like a $6 million. He might get a Patrick Marleau contract. Okay, like get $6 million for 3 years.
Yeah,
it's a good player. Do you have anything on him?
I guess just it's one of those things where maybe a trade out of a bad situation can reinvigorate a player like that. He goes to a team in Minnesota that's a playoff contender, not necessarily a Stanley Cup contender, but a good team nonetheless. And, they're playing in front of a packed house every home game. So, yeah, maybe that kind of just jump-started him again.
He's a good player. I don't know. It boggles my mind how he has this season. But at the same time, he used to do this all the time in Carolina. So he took like 2 years off, and now he's back. So good for him on that. He had a weird time in New York, too. That's weird. All right. Now, what are we, 16?
We got one. We skipped over 17.
Did we 17? Oh, who'd you
For
have
me,
17?
I had Sean Couturier.
Sean Couturier. Okay, I didn't have him on my list, so you go ahead.
A guy that just has the face of a hockey player.
Oh yeah, he does.
A beard, no teeth ever.
No teeth.
Yeah.
Red beard. He literally looks like Bobby Clark.
Sean Couturier, he's been a very effective player for the Flyers for a while now, and I wouldn't say he's one of those guys that flies under the radar because, they have talked about him, but he's been one of the only good players on the Flyers, and now they're starting to make a comeback. He's getting more recognition. He played 82 games last year, 31 goals, 45 assists for 76 points. So, again, just a very effective player, playing with Claude Giroux up there. So,
right, yeah. I can't really tell you anything else. That was a hard choice too, because he is one of the top two-way players. Him with another player. We're at 16, right?
Yeah.
So, speaking of great two-way players, I messed up my countdown, so I'm just gonna say I'll tie these two together. I have Jack Eichel at 17. I don't know how I got this. Let's do 17. It's around 17. Again, I had Jack Eichel 17 and a half. He had 67 games played, 25 goals, 35 assists, 64 points. It's his second injured season in a row. He was a negative 25. He's heading into the first year of his mega contract. $10 million.
Yeah.
Worth it or no?
I think it will be. Well, hopefully it will be for the Sabres' sake in the long run. But
I can't believe they traded O'Reilly. That's such a dumb trade. Like, hey, I can't wait to go trade this top center for a guy who's like barely top 6 and
they got
who
did they get back? Berglund and
Berglund, Sobotka, and Thompson, I think. No, they didn't trade Thompson. It's some random guy. And a second round pick. It just don't make sense.
Yeah, Tage Thompson.
It was Tage Thompson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me I don't know. They traded for Skinner, yes, but does Skinner do the same things that O'Reilly does? No. Like, is he as good as face-off percentage? He's not even a center. Who's going to be your second-line center now?
I think O'Reilly had the best face-off percentage in the 60%.
league. 60%. I don't even have him on this list, but it's still a fantastic. It shows the depth of centers in this league.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's nuts. Okay, so I had Jack Eichel at 17 and a half. For 16, I had Alexander Barkov, 79 games played, 27 goals, 51 assists, 78 points. He was 4th in Selke voting. He led his team in assists. He led the NHL in shorthanded goals. I think he was tied with a couple players. Maybe that was just led versus whatever. He had 5 shorthanded goals. He was second in all forwards in ice time with 22 and 4 seconds. I will say, if he would have had a little bit more gas in the tank, I think they would have made the playoffs because he only had 3 points in the last 6 games of their season, and they lost 3 of those games, which caused them to miss the playoffs.
Yep.
Okay, little story here.
All right,
Story
time.
All right, Alexander Barkov. Again, I will always compare these things to NHL games. Alexander Barkov gets drafted 3rd overall to the Panthers. I think maybe 3rd or 2nd overall in 2013. 2013, right? That sounds familiar. So in the NHL games, they have again potentials, and it was like McKinnon, some other guy, I forget the 2nd overall, some dude, and then Barkov. And I flipped crap. My small little brain, when was I? I was a sophomore in high school. My small little sophomore brain couldn't wrap around the fact that they drafted a guy that had like a 65 overall in NHL and was like, had no potential. Like everyone had these high like trade potentials, and then Barkov had nothing. It was just this trash player. I couldn't get to I'm like, why would they draft this guy? Like they're ruining everything.
Yeah.
And you know what? But through the first 2 years, it looked like he was a bust. He played good defensively, but it looked like he was just like he ain't gonna do nothing over this because his first year he had like 24 points. Next year he had 36 points, and then he had 50. Then he had 59. No. Yeah, 59, and then 52, and then this year 78. So, here's Barkov. He's definitely the next top player. I think he's going to be like Kopitar. He's going to be like Bergeron, who could put up points and play fantastic defensively. I remember watching a game it was the Oilers versus Florida, and Barkov just stood still and just lifted McDavid's stick. McDavid didn't even know he didn't have the puck anymore, and the play was just down. I just remember McDavid looking down at his skates and being like, "What?" and then saw Barkov down there, and he was like, "No, that just happened." Like, it was just so funny. Anyway, but yeah, definitely Alexander Barkov. He's one of my favorite players right now, to be honest with you. He's definitely...
I can see that.
He's a great... I love the defensive players. He doesn't play like that too at all, but just the way he plays defensively reminds me how he just snatches the puck up, and you just don't even know, because it's just so... It's so quick. It's just... Fly is in the air, fly is gone. That makes sense. But yeah, definitely... again, he led the league in shorthanded points. He was second in time on or ice time for forwards, which is a lot of time, by the way. Like, usually defensemen top 6 defensemen average around 22 minutes.
Yep.
He averaged 22 minutes as a center, which is crazy. Anyway, so that was my 16 pick. Who'd you have?
16. We talked about him already. Eric Stahl.
Eric Stahl. Okay, there we go. All right, we're here. We're finally at the top 15. What is that? We're finally here.
What's going on over here?
This is it. This is the top 15. Are you ready for this? You ready for this? Here we go. Oh, that's not it. Dun, 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 dun. We're here at the top 15. Centered list. This is it.
I feel like we need Doc introducing this list now.
Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm done.
Here they swagger on to their top 15.
Oh, yes. All right. That was fun. All right. We're at the top 15. I have my main man rocket, Tyler Seguin. 82 games played, 40 goals, 38 assists, 78 points, 6-point increase from last season. He was second in team scoring to Jamie Benn with 79. He was 5th in goals scored by centers, and he's in the last year of his contract.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know. Tyler Seguin's always been that player. It leaves you wanting more. I never see him as a clutch player. He scores a lot of goals.
Yeah.
And he's a really good top center. But I never see him in the times that you need they're down a goal. I never see him
making that play.
He doesn't. Yeah. He just seizes up, and he makes a good pass. But if you could have took the shot and scored it. And that's I think that's what kind of brings him down in this list, just because he could score 40 goals a game, but he's only played 7 playoff games in Dallas, and a lot of times, they have a high potent offense, but when the games come down to it, and you need a defensive guy, the defensive center, to shut down the game, and he is their top center.
Yeah,
he doesn't do the job.
No,
and again, it's not to knock on the guy, because I can't score 40 goals, but at the same time, it's you're looking at not making the playoffs a lot of times, and you can't always trade or get these players. You need the players that you have to step up. And I think he's more worried about getting points than actually playing the whole game itself.
He seems like that guy. Wasn't that kind of what got him run out of Boston?
Well, no, I mean, he was something with parties, and Boston was being weird. But I'm just saying, it just seems like he's not... He doesn't make that defensive play.
I guess it could all kind of be combined into a little bit of an attitude thing, maybe, with him.
That's
his mentality.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to call that an attitude where he's not a selfish player, because he's good at being a top line center.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't see that defensive play. I don't see that positioning and that want to get back and make those plays when it matters most, and that's when he gets scored on. And I that's what I see. I don't watch him exclusively, but the times I do watch Dallas games, which a lot were during the last couple months of the season, which are the most important times, when they went on an 8-game losing streak to miss they were going into the playoffs, and they went on an 8-game losing streak.
Yeah. And
during that time, it was Sagan and Ben pretty much doing everything. but then at the same time, they were down games, and it was just not enough. You needed that defensive play, and they kind of blew through.
Yeah, they didn't
get it. So that's kind of where I'm at with Tyler Seguin. I like the player, yes, but top 15, good player, but it's just that goes for me. Who do you have for 15?
I had Seguin.
Seguin again? Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at number 14. The Bird, Evgeny Kuznetsov, Kuzi, had 79 games played, 27 goals, 56 assists, 83 points. Second in team scoring, tied for 7th in power play points with 30. He won the Stanley Cup. He had 32 points in 24 playoff games. And he also had a 24-point increase from this year from last year. This guy's good.
Yeah. Simply put.
Simply this guy, he's here again. He had 77 points a couple seasons ago, and then he signed a contract. He's 7.5. People were saying that was overrated. And dude, it's $7.5 million for a guy who
scoring 83 points a year.
83 points, 77. Then he had down year 56 or 59 points, which is fine. He had a down year. But then comes back again with 83 points and then 32 points in the playoffs. Hey ho.
Yeah.
Look at, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
He was drafted in 2010, and I didn't know who this guy was. 2010 was a weird draft. That was the year Tarasenko was drafted too. That was the year that they didn't trust Russians. And then they quickly realized maybe we should trust Russians.
We should start doing this
We should start getting these Russians. And then shortly after that, Nichushkin came and ruined everything. And Yakupov. So go figure. But yeah, that's who I have for 14. Who do you have for 14?
14, I had Barkov.
Barkov, my man Barkov. Good player, don't doubt. All right, so we talked about him. Number 13. You could take this one. Who do you have for number 13?
13, again, another player we talked about. Okay. I had Jack Eichel.
Jack Eichel. What do you have for Jack Eichel? Talk about.
Well, it's kind of getting to be, would you say it's getting to be put up or shut up time for Jack Eichel?
If he's not injured, he's almost a point per game player.
Yeah.
So,
but
he's putting up already. He's had 2 seasons in a row where he's had 64 and 67 or 60 and 64 in like 60 something games. If he played a full 82 season, he has like 76 points.
Yeah, maybe I should have phrased this.
Better. I think it's more, can he stay healthy?
Okay.
And is he worth the $10 million? Already knowing that he's had an injury-prone kind of career to start off with. Because if you remember, he was injured in college, and then before he even played his first game in Buffalo, he had some kind of facial something going on with his face, and he broke his face, and they were waiting to see if he was injured then. And then he came back in the NHL season, played phenomenal, injured again. Then last year, when they needed him again, he was still a negative 25. He's not good defensively, which again beckons the point. You really think that this guy is
worth $10 million?
$10 million, and
well, here's the thing: he's going to have to get better defensively because
they got rid of O'Reilly.
Yeah,
plain and simple. Like, who's going to be your top defensive center? Who's your guy who's going to go against in all those? Sabotka, Berglund.
Come on now.
You gonna just have Dahlin play all?
No, Sabotka and Berglund are bottom 6 guys.
It just blows my mind. I don't know what they're thinking in Buffalo. Let's trade this tops. All right, enough about it. I don't even have that guy in our list, and I'm just oozing about him already. But yeah, no doubt, Eichel's definitely a player that's phenomenal.
I guess I meant put up or shut up by because what is going on in Buffalo? They've been so bad, and he got Dan Bilesma fired allegedly, right?
I don't know. It's a weird story. I don't even. I'm glad it's not my team.
Yeah, right.
That's the main point. All right. So for number 13 for me, I had Wild Bill Karlsson, William Karlsson, 82 games played, 43 goals, 35 assists, 78 points, third in league scoring, highest plus minus in the league with plus 49, which is crazy to me. Like, he was on the ice for 49 goals for.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of goals for him. That's like I think it's like 25% of some team's entire scoring for the year.
Yep.
Like he was on the ice for half of those goals scored. And I know he scored a lot of them because he scored a lot of his goals even strength, which makes it even more phenomenal that he did that. There we go. He was tied for first in shorthanded points. That's what it was. So he is a fantastic defensive player.
Yep.
He led his team in points. He had a 53-point increase from last year. So even if he averages maybe like even if he gets like 53 points next season, like it's still like you're still good, bud. You're still good, bud.
Yeah.
Like even if you get like minus 20 points, like I don't even at this point it's like, well, like all right, dude. Like, which again I didn't get to talk about this before, but his contract is stupid. He literally he shot himself in the foot. That's the dumbest kind. Why would you sign a 1-year contract? Sign a 2-year contract worth like $15 million, like overpay for these 2 years, and then just leave.
Yeah.
Like, you're dumb to sign a 1-year contract. Then if you don't make this money, they're not going to sign you to anything over 5.
If he goes back and trends back towards what his career norm was before this,
there's no way. It's over. It's dumb. I think he might have a short career after this because he's going to be overhyped and people are going to expect more from him and he's going to expect more money and then that's just going to get him out of the league really quick. Yeah. That's just what I see for him and it sucks, but that's just what I think. Anyway, who'd you have for number 13? We talked about Eichel, right?
Yep.
So number 12. So I'll take it back. Number 12, I had my boy Ryan Getzlaf. Mr. Baldy had 11 goals, 50 assists, 61 points. He finished second in points to only Raquel, who had 69, which is hilarious.
Nice.
Nice. He reached 50 assists for the 4th time in 5 seasons. He pretty much carried the Ducks to the playoffs, by the way. Not a big deal. This guy is phenomenal when he's not injured. He had 54 points in 50 games starting in December 11th. So as soon as he got injured in October, missed that chunk of games, came back in December, and he was the only player who really scored any points during that stretch.
Yep.
Perry wasn't doing nothing. Raquel was helping, yes, but it was just him and Raquel doing all the heavy lifting. There was a point in the season where
Scory Perry wasn't scoring.
Scory Perry was not. I was gonna wear a Perry jersey. That's hilarious. But no, it's if he plays a full 82 game season, he's definitely at least 90 points.
Yeah,
good for 90 points. He's 33 years old now. I don't know. He's still that good. I think people get a little bit itchy when you start hearing these ages, but at the same time, these guys aren't ancient.
No, he's not ancient, but you look at he's been a little bit of a rugged player.
Yeah, he has, but it hasn't. I mean,
it hasn't affected him yet.
Obviously,
clearly.
Last year he was injured, but you look at those 56 games played, and you'll think, oh my God, he must have missed like a whole bunch of games here and there. He missed games at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, came back and played the rest.
And then came back and played the rest. So it's not like he was just, injured off and on here and there. But now he didn't have a nagging injury. This year he's going to be, if he comes back healthy, which he should and he will, I think he's going to end up with maybe like 70, 80 points again, maybe even 90. They could come back really good because they have those young players in Max Jones and Sam Steele coming up. So that could really complement him as a player, helping him because he's not the fastest guy, yes.
Nope.
But at the same time, like if you have a player who can carry the puck up, he just got to put himself in position. He could pass the puck.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't take that much to skate up the ice, and he's that good. But that's who I had number 12. Who did you have number 12?
Number 12, I had the hope of Islander Nation now, Matthew Barzal.
Cool. I had him in number 11, so we'll talk about him now. Go ahead.
Yeah, Barzal, 82 games, 22 goals, 63 assists, so for a total of 85 points. And he's going to become the focus of the Islanders franchise now that
JT.
Now
JT's
that your
gone.
team got John Tavares.
Celebrate good time. All right, but enough about me. Barzal, Calder Trophy winner. He tied for most assists in New York Islanders history.
I mean,
with guess who? Who did he tie the rookie history with? In the New York Islanders. Can you guess this?
Is it Tavares?
Nope. Can you guess it or no? Is it a yay or is it a nay? Ooh. Oh, 3, 2, 1.
Nay. That's going to be a pass for me.
You missed it. On today's trivia, you were wrong.
Well, I mean, I didn't even really answer, so.
All right. It was Brian Trottier. Yep. 1977.
That is some elite
63.
company.
63 assists for Mr. Trout. He had 95 points that season. So.
I mean, what a way to break in the league. Score 85 points.
He's nuts. He's absolutely crazy. He did average 17 minutes, 46 time on ice. He had only a 42.6 faceoff percentage. He did start a lot of his zones in the offensive, which makes sense for a rookie player.
Yeah.
But he was also 147th in center faceoff. So there's that. Not the best. He's a good player though. I mean, shoot.
He'll get a lot of young players struggle in the faceoff dot. So
he is what coming into the season, he's going to be the top center for New York, which is kind of it's worrisome, but at the same time, he can do it.
Yeah.
He is good defensively. I give him that. He's fantastic offensively. He's quick. He has fast hands. Beauvillier is going to step up this next season as well, along with him. Not on the same level as Barzal, but I think those two are going to definitely grow into a duo that's going to be good for the New York Islanders. But I'm also happy that John Tavares is out of there. I just got to say that because he's on my team now. But yeah, so there we go. Number 11, who'd you have? Because number 11 was Barzal for me.
Again, another player who I can't believe is this low. And maybe I put him this low because he only played 64 games, but Patrice Bergeron.
Bergeron, yep. I have him in 9, so we'll talk about him in a little bit. All right, we're in the top 10. We are in the top 10. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Are you ready for this top 10?
Yes.
Okay,
we could skip my number 10 because we talked about him already.
Who was your number 10?
Kuznetsov.
Kuznetsov. Good. All right, my number 10 is my boy, Austin Matthews. 62 games played, 34 goals, 29 assists, 63 points. An absolute guy. I don't know whether or not he's gay. Just want to say that right now.
Why? There's some questions about that going on in Toronto?
If he's listening, this dude wears jean jackets too much for my liking. No, I'm joking. I have nothing against any of that, but it's just this guy's sense of style. It's so weird. I feel like all those guys have some in Toronto. I don't know if it's just Toronto dudes, but they just wear some weird stuff. Like Frederik Andersen's just wearing some he was wearing some green pants, and it was like, it just looks weird. It's like, I don't know. I just laugh because on Twitter, there's all these pictures of Austin Matthews just wearing these jean jackets, and he gives this smile. He smiles, and he's like, huh. like, it's so weird.
Am I wrong about this, or was there someone last year on the Leafs that wore a blue and white checkered suit to the game?
Dude, it was Dermott. Travis Dermott. Maybe Carrick, because Carrick has his own fashion line out. So
okay.
No, Carrick has the coffee line.
Connor Carrick from my hometown.
Connor Carrick, he has the fashion, or he has the coffee studio. Travis Dermott's the guy who wore the check.
Okay.
Dermott's a fashionable guy. But yeah, I have Austin Matthews here. He had 1.02 points per game average, which is above a point per game average. He was second in goals scored on a team to 36 to JVR, who had 36 goals in 82 games. The season before that, which is his first rookie season, he had 69, which is hilarious. If he played a full season, he probably would have had 44 goals. I think maybe he probably would have had 90 points.
Easily.
Easily. If he was not, I could see why. So the NHL had him at number 4 on their list.
Yeah.
I could see why if he played the full season.
Yeah.
But if he wasn't injured, then I think where he's at number 10 is definitely a good spot for him. Definitely not a homer on this one. Obviously, I love Matthews, my favorite player. But right now, it's like, if he's not injured, then yeah, because he was injured. He wasn't injured last season, but this season was kind of weird because he came back, was here, came back, left, took 3 weeks off. And then he just kind of stopped playing, and then he was here again. And then during the playoffs, he only had 2 points this year. So it was kind of a weird year for him. But yeah, next season, if he comes back and he's healthy, and he's going to be playing with Tavares on the power play most likely.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be nasty. It's gonna be absolutely,
no doubt,
absolutely nasty. These mitts that he's gonna have is just. Wah. All right, who'd you have for number 10?
Number 10, I had Kuznetsov. So
right.
We talked about him. I had Matthews at number 8.
Okay. Number 9 for me, I had Patrice Bergeron. You said you had him. Who'd you have him at 11, right?
I had Bergeron at 11.
Okay,
yeah.
So here we are. Bergeron, 64 games played, 30 goals, 33 assists, 64 points. Was on one of the most productive lines with Marchand and Pasternak. I know firsthand because for the first 5 games of the Maple Leafs versus Bruins playoff, it was just you couldn't stop these men.
Yeah.
These guys just were like, hey, we're here. Here's our foot. I see your neck. It looks nice. I'm gonna
step on it. I'm
gonna put my foot right there.
Yeah.
And again, so Bergeron, fantastic player. He hit 30 goals for the third time in 5 seasons. But this is the first time since the 2008-09 season that he's played less than 70 games in a full season. Besides the lockout,
he's a tough player. That guy played with a punctured lung in the 2013 Cup final.
Yeah, I mean that's dumb. But it's really dumb. But he did it. He's a good player, obviously. 64 games played. If he wasn't injured, he probably would have. He probably would have won.
Player.
He would have won the Selke Trophy.
Oh, no doubt.
If he would have kept up that production, he probably would have ended up with 82 points, 83 points, and he would have won the Selke. Just because he wasn't.
He's just so good. Look at his advanced stats. If you want to talk about that, his Corsi and face-off percentage were identical. 57.3.
He's just too good. He's 34 years old now. I keep forgetting how old he is. It's so weird from player to player. You'll talk about age. I don't know, David Booth.
Oh my God, there's a name.
David Booth is only 34 years old, but it seems ancient, right? Ancient 34 years old. Then you look at Bergeron, he's 34. It's ancient 34 years old David Booth.
Oh, you're right about that.
That's the first and even ancient Ryan Getzlaf at 33. Oh my God, there's not even close. You know what I mean? Even Patrick Marleau. Patrick Marleau is 39 years old. But you don't think he's ancient because that guy still skates super fast.
Yeah,
he's still a quick player. He still
puts up points.
So that kind of thing. Anyway, number 8, I had John Tavares, my boy JT.
I had him at 7.
My new boy JT, John Tavares. I have his shirt. John Tavares, 37 goals, 47 assists, 84 points. This was his highest point total since the 2014-15 season. He was second in team scoring to Barzal, as we mentioned earlier. 9th in center scoring. Second highest goal scoring total. From where he was in New York. So it's you had Bailey or whoever was scored 40 goals, and then John Tavares, and then they just dropped. They just dropped from there. So definitely, he switched teams obviously to the Leafs. I can only see him being next year. I bet he's top 5.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be playing with better players.
Oh my God, he has a better team. He has a playoff team.
Yeah,
this is the first time in a long time he's ever had an actual playoff team. So I don't know. I think he's gonna get 90 points, 95 points.
That's fair.
100 could be in the ballpark because he's gonna be playing with Mitch.
Yeah,
and let me tell you,
that's fair.
Mitch gets his Mountain Dew. Mitch is going. Mitch is going. I had him number 8. Who'd you have at number 8?
I had at number 8. I had Austin Matthews. I had at number 9, Mark Scheifele.
Mark Scheifele. Okay. I have him at 6, so we'll talk about him when we get there. Number 7. Who'd you have at number 7?
I had Tavares.
Tavares. Okay. I had Steven Stamkos, number 7.
Okay, I had... Where did I have Stamkos? I had Stamkos 6.
Never. He just didn't have... It's off this list. All right, so we'll talk about Stamkos now. Stamkos, 78 games played, 27 goals, 59 assists, 86 points. Take it away.
Oh, it's good to see Stamkos playing close to a full season. Only missed 4 games. And everyone... He's known as a sniper. I mean... you see all those wicked one-timers and all that, but 59 assists. I like that.
Yeah, he's come on. So this is the first time. So we're getting into the old boys club. and a little, not old boys club, but the guys you expect to be in these top center spots now. So this was his highest point total since 2011-12.
What was his highest assist total? Because he always a guy that would have more goals than assists?
No. Yes, kind of. When in the beginning of his career, in the beginning of his career, he had like 95 points, 90 points, 92 points. Around for like 3 years, he was like one of the best players in the league. And then obviously he got injured, and then he just consistency wasn't there. They missed the playoffs, obviously. But anyway. He was definitely a player who had a lot of goals versus us. He had like the same amount of goals, assists, that kind of thing. He came back this year. I mean, he was tied for fourth in power play goals with 15 at 15 power play goals, which was first for centers. He was fourth in power play points with 33. And he was actually sixth in power play, like his percentage on the power play. He was like sixth in the entire league. Every time he's on the ice for a power play, they would score. Like, there was, like, I think, what does it say? There's a 93% chance every time he was on the ice for a power play, they would score. Which is, what? Which is absolutely amazeballs.
It's like Stamkos comes on the ice and you're done.
You're done, bud.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic player. I you know what? They're going to keep becoming a really good franchise, Tampa Bay, and he's one of their top players, so... He's definitely worth this position where he's at right now.
Like I said, maybe I said this a couple shows ago, but yeah, he's a great player, and Tampa is the team that I'm gonna say is winning the Stanley Cup every year until they actually win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they're weird. They're like the '90s Braves. Like they're so good, but they don't win. They win it once, and they haven't even won it once.
I wonder. With this core, I wonder if now that the Caps won, if that's going to be like the new team. Oh, they choked again in the playoffs.
I will talk about that in a little bit. I actually do have something on that. All right. So number 6, right? Yes. All right. Number 6. Who'd you have for number 6?
I had Stamkos.
Okay. Number 6, I had Scheifele. I forgot about Scheifele.
Yeah.
I made this list, and right when I was leaving my house this morning, I don't know why something popped on my phone. I didn't have Bergeron, Scheifele, or John Tavares on this list for some reason. I just totally I was calling myself names. I was like...
But it's so... I mean, you look at the list of all the centers, it's so easy
to forget somebody.
Like, I didn't have Getzlaf in mind, and I didn't even think of it until you mentioned it.
I forgot about Getzlaf too, man. I forgot about all these players. All right, so number 6, I had Scheifele, 23 goals, 37 assists, 60 points. He came off an 82-point season in the 2016-17 season. In the playoffs, we're talking playoffs. He had 14 goals and 20 points in 17 games. He had 7 away goals in that series versus Nashville.
Yeah.
That's
insane.
He was just a tank. Mm-hmm. This guy came on that. You couldn't stop this dude. It was crazy. He made Turris look like, I'm going at. He looked like a little something.
Yep.
Like Turris, they talk about how bad Turris was, but like let's just be honest here. He was matched up with Scheifele a lot.
Yeah.
And it was like, you didn't even have the puck. You had 0% of the time with the puck.
Yeah.
And they had nobody to stop Scheifele. Scheifele was just a monster. And then he just fell off against Vegas because everyone fell off against Vegas.
Yeah. Somehow.
But, yeah, no doubt. Mark Scheifele, fantastic. I do
He's
remember.
He's a point-a-game player.
Funny story. We'll go back to my story time with me. So I remember I was in my garage in like 2014.
Okay.
And he played for I think it was the Barrie Colts. And I remember reading a story where somebody was like saying, oh, Mark Scheifele was drafted this high, but he's not worth it. He might end up as a 50-point player. He's not very consistent. This guy, he probably gets traded out of Winnipeg. And I just remember that story. And I remember on Twitter at the time, he has just started his Twitter. And I at him when I was like a freshman in high school. And I remember adding him, and I'm like, you're gonna be amazing, dude. I'm like, I love you in NHL games. And he messaged me back. He's like, thank you. I actually needed that. So
That's awesome.
So I actually remember that me messaging him, and he was like, "Thank you, man."
I think this should be a new segment on the show, Story Time with Niko.
Yeah, start NHL video game time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was something I just remember that, and I actually met him when he went against the Blackhawks here.
Okay.
I met him, and I remember showing him a thing. He was like, "Oh yeah," and I took a picture with it. Anyway, yeah, I love that guy. Good player.
Yes.
Mark Scheifele started off slow, but now he's one of the best players in the league. Number 6 overall. If he would have played this whole season, 90 points.
Yeah.
I think 90 points. I think he.
Well, he had
would
what,
score
60
30.
and 60?
Yep, 60. Yeah, 60 and 60. So, yeah, no doubt. Okay, top 5, bud.
Yep.
Who you got for number 5?
Anze Kopitar.
Anze. What a coincidence, me too. Yeah, we say how hard this. We didn't synchronize this list, people. We did this on our own. I also had Anze Kopitar.
Yeah.
This is where I started writing paragraphs on people.
Yeah.
Anze Kopitar, 82 games played, 35 goals, 57 assists. I actually had him on number 3 originally, and I was like, I can't do that. This is his 11th year in the NHL. This was his career high in the NHL in his 11th year. After a career low of 52 points.
It was a great rebound year for him.
Yeah, it's weird. So obviously, this was a career low over a full season because he had 42 points in 47 games in the 2012-13 lockout.
Yeah.
He was 7th in assists this year. He had the highest time on ice. So think about this. You had Barkov, who's number 2, and Kopitar number 1. It makes sense because of how great these guys are defensively. Speaking of defense, he won the Selke this year. So definitely one of those players that is the top. He is the top defensive player. I can't even say he is one of the. He is the top. He was 3rd highest faceoff percentage. I did it over 1,000 faceoffs. Okay. So he was 3rd highest in the league in faceoff percentage. He led his team in points, which was a 31-point difference between him and Brown, who had 61. So it was either Kopitar or nobody, and Brown sometimes.
Yeah, it was just pretty much all Kopitar.
Yeah, so he carried that offense, and we were talking about before when we were doing our preludes for the season. How Kopitar, how the LA Kings had no offense. They were like the Ducks.
Yeah.
No offense, fantastic defense.
Yep.
And like I said, he's 5th overall in the league because he is that good. He's underratedly fast.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching him in the Stanley Cup Finals that he's played in.
He's big too.
He is. He's a big man, and he's a good player. Yeah. He's like if Datsuk was like 6'4". Like he has hands.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
He has hands. He plays with his body. Obviously, best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
And he's a top-line center. He's worth the $10.5 million.
Oh, no doubt.
Like, obviously, 92 points, huge point total for him. I can't really gush anything else about him because he's that good of a player. And I like him. I like him a lot as that guy. You have anything to add for him?
I think we pretty much just touched on everything.
All right.
I mean, the fact that he is
like
the face of the Kings.
Yeah, he's a great player. All right, number 4. Who'd you have for number 4?
Number 4, I had Nathan MacKinnon.
Nathan MacKinnon, number 4. Okay, I had him a little bit further. I had number 4, Evgeny Malkin. I had him. We probably have him switched, maybe. You have number 3, right?
Malkin?
Yeah.
I have him 2.
You have 2. Okay, so we did have him switched. I had Nate MacKinnon at 2. All right, so we'll just talk about Malkin now, and we'll get up to whatever. So Malkin, 42 goals, 56 assists, 98 points. He is also his 11th year in the NHL. This was the most. I want to bring. This is such a weird point. So anybody who was from like 7th up here has played in, besides MacKinnon and McDavid and Scheifele, they have all played from the past the 2011-2012 season.
Yeah.
So this is the 3rd player that's had a career high, who had the career high in 2011-2012. Malkin had, that year he had 109 points. This year 98 points. But this is the most points he's had since then because he's been injured.
Yeah.
And he led the Penguins in points. He was tied for 4th most in goals with 42. Tied for 3rd most power play points with 38. And again, this is the first season since 2011-2012 that he's played over 75 games.
Yeah.
So
he's a phenomenal player. I don't know how he got left out of the NHL 100.
I know, that's nuts.
Right?
And Taves got in. Three-time 30 goal scorer, Patrick Kane. Three-time 30 goal scorer, Patrick Kane.
Yeah, Kane.
One-time 70-point scorer, Jonathan Taves. Are you joking me, bud? Oh my God. Horrible. I don't even know how he did it. Malkin's a generational talent, and
we'll I got a little
nuts.
something on Taves in a couple minutes, but
okay. Okay, we'll get to that.
But as for Gino,
I hate Taves. Just want to let you know right now.
Clearly,
I absolutely hate that guy. All right.
As for Gino, like you said, 98 points, just a great player. He has score.
He is score. Puck put the net. He scored goal. It reminds me of good like mother's goulash. It reminds me of like when he scored goal. He opens up chest with little ring inside, and it's like happy time. All right.
That's I think probably my favorite hockey interview of all time. When they asked Malkin about how does it feel to be the league scoring champion, and that was his response: "I am score.
I am score. I am puck." All right, number 3. Who'd you have number 3? Malkin, right?
No, I had Malkin 2. I had his teammate, Sidney Crosby, 3.
Okay, I had Sidney Crosby as well, at number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Take it from here.
Well, what is there really to say about Crosby? He's one of the greatest players of all time, despite the fact that I really don't like him.
It's funny you say that.
I really don't like him.
I have like paragraphs for each player, and then I just have Crosby like just his goals and his points. I have nothing else for him because it's just like, what can you say about Crosby?
Yeah,
that's like,
I mean, everyone's seen
the best player.
He does everything.
Yeah, he's the best player. Like, he's the best player in the league. Like, we all know he's like, obviously McDavid's coming up for scoring and offense. He's not there defensively as good as Crosby is.
Yeah.
Like, we both have him at 3, but we both know he's the best player in the league. Like realistic.
If that makes sense.
If that makes sense.
Somehow.
You know what I mean, though, right? Like, he does the most defensively, does the most offensively,
he does
carries
everything.
the team.
He's the best overall.
Yeah, exactly. So
I guess you could say. See, now I'm going to have to try and make sense of saying he's the best overall player. And number 3 on this list.
You know what? But people who watch hockey and like are in tuned with hockey, they understand that. They're not going to be like, what?
Yeah.
You have him at 3? Like, no one's like whose voice? Jim Benning in the background. But Horvat's the best. But Horvat should be on this list, bud. Oh. Sorry.
Jim Benning back again for the second straight week.
I'm back. Were you talking about Vancouver? All right, no, for real. Get out of here, Jim. You're not here. Yeah, Crosby. Okay, so this was actually, again, we'll bring it back to the stat I mentioned earlier. This is the first time since the 2012 season Crosby hasn't led the Penguins in points. It's a long time. 6 years. 6 years he's been going. And this is actually his 5th straight healthy season, by the way. That he's had 78 to 82 games played. Each season has been injured. So I'm glad. He's the best player, and I'm glad that we're getting to see him play through.
Yeah, because that's pretty remarkable, because he missed, a season?
He missed season and a half.
Yeah. And
he went through close, then he came back and got injured again.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, okay,
Well, he wasn't really injured in the lockout season because he was going to win the Art Ross for most points, and he broke his jaw. Yeah, it was right when I remember right when they traded for Iginla, they were wearing those light blue jerseys that they had, and Iginla came on the ice, and then Crosby just got nailed with a puck. I just remember that was the first game, and it was so dumb because it was like you just traded for Iginla and you just broke Crosby, like. Oh, God. That sucks. I don't want to talk about it, Iginla. All right, so enough about Crosby. We all know he's great. Number 2. I had Nathan MacKinnon. You had Malkin. Mm-hmm. Take it away from MacKinnon.
Nathan MacKinnon, 74 games, 39 goals, 58 assists for 97 points. He had a 50.9 Corsi, but only a 42% face-off win percentage.
Who cares?
A guy who finally has been living up to his draft status. Colorado's been Colorado. They finally had that breakout year last year, and he was the driving force behind it. 97 points. This guy's a hell of a skater, and I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about him.
I mean, he had a 44-point increase from last year. Obviously, he led the team in points.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. He was second in power play points, goals, or power play percentage in the league, again, to Stamkos. So remember that power play percentage thing? Whenever he was on the power play, a 92% chance they scored, which is absolutely nuts. He had the fifth most power play points in centers with 32. He had the most. He was tied for the most game-winning goals with points.
Okay.
Which is another mind-blowing stat too. I mean, you want to talk about clutch? He had the season that I think Tyler Seguin should have, and I think he has a season that Tyler Seguin never has had, where he leads the team in points.
Yeah.
And leads them to victory. You just don't have 12 game-winning goals. Just whatever. Can you guess who he's tied with though? Can you guess who he's tied with?
For game-winning goals?
Game-winning goals.
For last season?
For last season.
Ooh.
He plays in the East.
Plays in the East.
Wears a blue uniform. Ooh. Can you guess this name?
A Ranger.
A Ranger. Nope, not a Ranger. You're no Rangers. 3.
It's a blue uniform.
2.
An Islander.
1.
Is it Barzal?
No. It's Braden Point.
Oh, you just said Braden Point.
I know, I did too, and that's why I'm like, are you kidding me? Braden Point, yep, tied, which is nuts to think of too, because he had like 60 points. That guy's a rocket as well. So yeah, definitely Nathan McKinnon. Think of it this way: so we had 38 points a couple seasons ago, 52 the next year, 53 next year, and then 97 points this year. Does he do it again? Think he does it again?
There's a good chance.
I don't think so. I think this was the year he came in motivated, and I think maybe he gets like 70 points next year.
Well,
I think it's like
that doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck. Yeah, I know it doesn't suck. But he still has a fantastic contract, by the way, too. 6.3, I think. Fantastic contract. All right, number 1. Let me just play the song really quick, because it's number 1, right?
Yeah.
All right, so number 1 overall. I think we all know who this guy is.
Yep.
Number 1 overall in 2015.
Jonathan Taves.
2-time Art Ross Trophy winner. 1 Ted Lindsay Trophy. He won the Ted Lindsay twice in a row as well. He had the highest power play percentage in the league. He was second in assists. He missed the playoffs. The one and only.
Like Jesus.
Yes.
Connor McDavid.
Connor McDavid.
Yeah. What a terrific player.
He's so good.
I mean, you would.
He's so good. It's not even fair sometimes.
I remember his draft year, or leading up to his draft year, and everyone's saying like, "Oh my God, this is the next great player to come in the league." And I'm sitting there going, "Well, for as much as I hate Crosby, but when the guy's healthy, I don't think anyone's better than him. Connor McDavid's better than."
Connor McDavid is the best player since Gretzky.
Yeah.
Calling it right now. There's no
offensively.
Offensively, yes.
Like we said, Crosby's
give it a year or two when he makes the playoffs more.
Yeah.
Then he's definitely going to be another level. Will open up for McDavid. But
I think the Islanders are going to get back, or the Oilers are going to get back to the playoffs.
They had a weird season last year. They had the low at that power play penalty kill percentage.
Yeah. Crazy
low. Power play crazy low. The goalie couldn't make a save for anything. Their defense was shot in the foot when Sekera went down. Obviously, he's injured again. I think they should make a trade for defenders. Clefbaum had a weirdly bad season. Everyone had an off year at the same time. And even McDavid wasn't McDavid until halfway through the season.
Yeah.
But then by then it was already too late. I think they are going to make the playoffs
Even
this year.
McDavid wasn't himself for half the season, and he's put up 108
Yeah,
points.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, this was Kucherov's Art Ross trophy until the last, 3 weeks, and then McDavid, just got 108, just put down a foot on the gas and was like, hey, not that the games even mattered for his team anyway, but you know what I mean? It's just such a... He's amazing. He's the best player in the league offensively, and I think he's the most fun. He's the most funnest. He's the most fun to watch.
Yeah.
In the league, he is a fantastic player. Out of this world player. He's fast. Have you ever seen him in person?
No.
I've watched him twice. It's just amazing. It's so crazy how fast he skates. His agility.
Yeah.
How he moves on the ice. It's magic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and the way he does it with full speed on the ice with the puck. This guy has the puck on his hands going like a million miles per hour, and he does it all at full speed.
Yeah.
And it's crazy the creativity that he has too, because he'll be in the middle of the ice. There'll be like 5 dudes in front of him just laying a wall down. He'll magically find a way where he'll act like he's gonna drop pass it, but then keep it in his skate and then pass off the boards to himself. It's just.
He's so good.
I just don't know how he does it. I'm trying to figure out like you can't even figure him out. And again, that's the whole point, I guess, right? So I mean, he's not good of a player. So number 1 overall, Connor McDavid. This list was
it was tough.
This list was a thing, man.
Yeah.
This list was definitely
It was a challenge to put together, that's for sure.
This list was crazy. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. There's so many other fantastic centers that are out there right now too. We didn't even mention Pavelski is a fantastic center. I didn't even have Couture on my list.
I did want to say that out of all the centers,
Jonathan Taves.
I wrote down a page and a half
about Jonathan Taves.
But Taves had the second highest face-off winning percentage and the second highest Corsi, for what it's worth.
How many points did he have?
60?
He had 60 points? No way he had 60. He had to have 50.
Jonathan, 52.
Yeah, no way. I mean,
Nick Schmaltz had 52 points last year.
Who?
Nick Schmaltz.
So, yeah, what were you going to say about Jonathan Taves?
No, I mean, I still think that there is some value there because the guy clearly drives possession. So it's just weird that he doesn't score more.
I don't find it weird. I think he's slow. I think he has no offensive creativity. He gets all this ice time, and it's like he's good defensively, yeah, but then as soon as the puck goes up the ice, it's like hands of stone just take over him, and then he forgets how to skate.
Which is weird because he scored some pretty amazing goals.
Yeah, I know.
I
don't know what happened, and it just disappeared from him, man.
Yeah.
But all right, so that was our top 20 NHL centers. You can follow us on Twitter at the Backskate. You can follow me, Niko from the TO, at Niko from the TO on Twitter. You can follow Matt at
Meliska52.
Yep, you can follow him there. You can please subscribe if you like this video. Please subscribe. Makes a lot of sense to subscribe because we like you. Yeah. So if you like this video, like I said, leave a like, comment what your list was, and we'll see you on the next video of the Backskate. I love you. Subscribe. Do it. Oh yeah, wait till forevermore.